Hello everyone. It's James again. And before I start today's video, I just want to quickly say, all work in this video contains 100% original content of and by myself James Smith, otherwise known as Bgood 4000, and was uniquely created with NAWMAL software, by myself James Smith. As I purchased commercial rights from NAWMAL to produce my unique and original video with this software. Commentary is uniquely my own thoughts, feelings, and expressions. Now that I have that out of the way, I do hope your day is going way better than fantastic. And your journey to self-betterment is going way better than fantastic as well. And to those that are new, thank you for listening to me and my little cartoon voice. I appreciate you. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so if you like this content. With that being said, I wanted to make a video today, as last night I came across a fresh interview that was conducted by two of Sylvester Stallone's daughters, as they interviewed their father Sylvester Stallone. And as many of you longtime subscribers know, the impact the Rocky movies had on me and my life and my growing up. You see, I don't look at those that are in Hollywood as these high-up types. You know how some people worship celebrities and the celebrity? Because I know that Hollywood tends to be full of evil and corruption. But every now and again, a project sneaks through. A project that influences the masses in a positive way. As an example, The Matrix. The Matrix being widely responsible for allowing people to make the connection between what they were seeing in the movie and what is happening in real life around them. Well, Rocky on a massive scale, worldwide, made the connection to those that were forgotten and abused, to let them know they weren't alone, and to not give up, because that's what the abusers want you to do, to fall down and not be able to get back up, and let those that abused you to have the final say over you and your life and your talents, hopefully squashing all of your hopes and dreams. Because if they didn't make it in life, they don't want you to make it. Well, over the last few years, on Sylvester Stallone's daughter's channel, Unwaxed, they have interviewed their father a couple of times, each time getting more to the core of what happened in their father's life. And in this interview, even though they don't say it, you can see it's classic. And I do mean classic narcissistic abuse. And you see the emotion and at times hurt and pain that shows up in this interview this man still has from how he grew up. But the love he has for his daughters, and without saying it, letting them know the cycle of abuse is broken with them. Now it appears that Sylvester Stallone's father was the physical and verbal abuser. A harsh stone-type strong guy that wouldn't hesitate to be physical and was quite mean with his words to Sylvester. And his mother followed things up with a helping of neglect, lack of support and no help. In one part of the interview, he said that going to the Oscars when he won for Rocky was one of the worst nights of his life. And his daughters seemed shocked by that answer. And you can see, this appears to be some firsts of him sharing some of this pain he has been carrying around inside of him with his family. He said the night was so bad because he was told he has 2 tickets for himself and someone else to go to the Oscars, front row, to eventually win Best Picture. He invited his mother to come with him and be there with him for the experience. Likely because, like most of us, that though we know these people are narcissist parent or parents are bad people, we weirdly still deep down inside hope they do the right thing. And they always show who they are and let us down. Plus I think he wanted for once to have his mother smile and say, "Son, I'm very proud of you." Well, she did what most narcissists do. She made it all about her, and attempted to complicate things for him. And there's more to this complication that I believe is there. And I will let you know what I think that is in a moment. But what she did was say, "Well, I can only go if her hairdresser can go with her." He said, "Mom, I just have 2 tickets. That means me and you," she said. Well, I can't go unless my friend that is the hairdresser goes with me. Sylvester said. Mom. You haven't seen her in 10 years and she's moved to Washington, D.C. She said. I don't care. I'm not going unless my hairdresser friend can go with me. He said. Well, I guess you're not going then. And he said he either went alone or brought his brother. He doesn't remember. His daughters asked if his mother ever said she was proud of him. When he hit the bullseye on this once-in-a-lifetime thing that most people could never dream to achieve. To create a piece of art that would inspire billions of people across the planet. Especially those that were or are forgotten and that are or were abused in their life. All by just creating the character Rocky. Did she ever say, "Son, you know I'm very proud of you"? Sylvester paused. And with a sad face said, "No. No." Then he said, "You know it's what I expected. She did what I expected. But here's the thing. Even though we know, or we knew how our parents were or are, how many times did we fall into that trap of wishing and hoping for the love and approval of such a narcissistic abuser? But here's the thing they didn't talk about: why I believe she, meaning Sly's mother, made such a ridiculous demand. I believe she did it to see if Sly would actually jump through those hoops she set up for him to jump through. Because she knew, him being in the position that he was in and getting the tickets he got was a big deal. You don't go back to the person in charge and demand more. And she knew that if he attempted to do so, he would look bad amongst those who were essentially in his workplace. You see, I've talked quite a bit about my schooling. And when I was in elementary school, my mother would make herself a nuisance to get every free thing she could get out of those in charge at my school. She would even instruct me to go and ask this person or this and that person for that. She did that with the parents of my classmates. And that turned into the teachers and the students bullying myself and my golden child brother literally on a daily basis. You see, I believe she knew that Sylvester had something good going. And she wanted to make him look like a fool by allowing his narcissist mother to get in the middle of things with her narcissism. I can just see it. Sylvester asking the people in charge for a third ticket for his mother's hairdresser. That would make him look silly and unprofessional. And likely if he started the process to go with his mother's demands, she would be constantly changing her demands and needs around. All making Sylvester look more and more foolish with each time he tries to get things worked out. The other thing is, if she did go along with her hairdresser friend, I just ended up with a mental picture of her hairdresser friend trying to offer her services to everyone she would see and saying things that are wildly inappropriate. All to do what? Take away the shine from Sylvester's big day. And to make him look like a fool. Because this is how narcissists test you. Yes, they want you to feel unloved with them not just being happy to be invited. But if you are willing to go through the hell to make their demands come true, they know it will blow up in your face, so to speak. So though he said it was one of the worst days of his life, I'm glad she wasn't able to go. And I think that things worked out for the best. However, I know what he means. Here he was getting recognized for his art that has touched so many. And he was there alone and lonely. He talked about lots of other things. How he uses how his father used to talk to him and mistreat him as fuel to push forward and right. And how his children have a much different life. Because they were raised with love and care. Where he was raised in the complete opposite. And without exactly saying it, it was implied the cycle of abuse is now broken with them. You see, we grew up thinking we were the only ones. And it was happening to so many out there. Even some people that are part of what we call popular culture. Sylvester Stallone being one of them. Prince being another. There were a couple of times where Sylvester had to compose himself and had to make himself not cry talking about his pain. Emotional pain that started in childhood and that is still with him till this day. And that's why I do what I do. To help as many people as I can escape it and to do better for themselves. And to do it as soon and as early as possible. As many of us had to go years and years and years in a fog of not knowing what to do with our lives. Feeling hopeless and feeling down. Well, Rocky shows us. Just stand up and do the best you can. Even if you don't win. Put on the best show you can. Meaning do the best you can with what you got and where you are at. All you can do is your best. And sometimes that best ends up being art that touches billions of people's lives. Like the character Rocky. Well, that's all I have for today. I do hope your day is blessed. And until next time. Bye for now. And be good to yourself.